I don't know who needs to hear this, but do not take your dental advice from unqualified people on the internet. Let me share a story with you. I have a patient who I've been seeing since last summer, and the first time that I saw them, they were diagnosed with stage 1 periodontal disease. What does that mean? You can see in this image, this right here kind of looks like normal bone level. Over here starts to be the beginning of periodontal disease. Periodontal disease means the bacteria is building up under the gums, and that bacteria is literally causing your bone to be eaten away by your body. So right here is the early stages of it. So that is how this patient came to me. Now, periodontal disease is fairly common in our patient population, except for one very important thing. This patient was 18 years old when I met them. If you didn't already know this, being a young person who has periodontal disease is extremely concerning because our bodies when we're younger are much better able to fight off these infections and stave off the destructive effect of things like periodontal disease. I had a discussion with this patient. We treatment planned them for 4 quadrants of a deep cleaning, which I completed. Then I brought them back for a reevaluation and the hygiene looked a lot better. So now I bring this patient back for their next cleaning, which is 3 months after their last cleaning because you're supposed to put patients with periodontal disease on a more frequent recall schedule. And I took updated x-rays. And when I tell you that I was absolutely horrified when I saw these images, the bone loss for this patient jumped from here to here in just 6 months. Now, that may not seem like a big deal to you, but the fact that this patient is so young and the fact that this patient went from about this to this in such a short period of time means that there is a significant disease process going on. So I sat down and I had a conversation with this patient and I asked them, what are you doing with your oral hygiene routine? How are you maintaining your oral health? And I asked, how often are you brushing? How often are you flossing? Patient replied that they're brushing twice a day, and I asked if they were flossing, and they said that they're only flossing when food gets stuck between their teeth. Now, I had stressed the importance of flossing at their last appointment because with patients with periodontal disease, the only way to remove the bacteria that are causing the bone to literally be eaten away is by either manual instrumentation with our dental tools or to a slighter degree with dental floss. I asked the patient if they were doing anything else for their oral health routine, and they informed me that they recently started oil pulling. Now, aside from the massive amounts of misinformation regarding oil pulling and all of its outrageous benefits that people claim, I'm okay with a patient oil pulling if, and this is a big if, they maintain a good oral hygiene routine otherwise, meaning you're brushing and you're flossing, and if you want to add oil pulling to that, that's totally fine with me. This patient has progressive periodontal disease, and I asked them, okay, how much time are you spending oil pulling per day? And the patient informed me that they were oil pulling for 2 to 10 minutes every single morning. When I tell you that it took everything in me not to get frustrated with this patient, but more so just even getting frustrated with the amount of misinformation that's been put out there that leads patients in these situations to do this. But the key thing here is this: when there is something that is guaranteed to improve even a little bit, even a tiny bit, your oral health, as opposed to something that has questionable benefits at best, if you have 2 to 10 minutes to oil pull every single day, you have the 2 minutes that it takes to floss your entire mouth. I guarantee you. And more than frustrated, I was just really sad that there is so much misinformation that gets around and that people are truly being harmed by this misinformation going around. Moral of the story is, if you have been diagnosed with periodontal disease, if you have gum disease issues, if you have issues with your teeth, please, please, please take your dental advice from dental professionals only. I'm pulling up this graphic one more time because once it gets to this stage where there's advanced periodontitis, and if the bone loss gets any less than this, your teeth become loose and fall out. If you are in stage 3 or stage 4 periodontitis, you are losing teeth, guaranteed. And for someone like this patient who is only 19 years old, it is immensely sad that some sort of misinformation on the internet caused them to utilize their time doing treatments that have questionable benefit at best rather than actual things that could help improve their oral health. Sharing this for educational purposes only.